Sa kalusugan at pabahay, aasenso tayo. Sa edukasyon, aasenso tayo. Sa pangkabuhayan at trabaho, aasenso tayo. Sa proteksyon ng karapatang pangtao, aasenso tayo. AASENSO Partylist, inyong kaagapay. Sama-sama, sabay-sabay, walang iwanan. AASENSO ang sambayanan, AASENSO ang buong bayan.
Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. I'm Pinky Webb. Today on the program. After filing his candidacy for president, former Senator Bongbong Marcos reveals President Rodrigo Duterte was his choice for vice president. The Marcos camp calls the emergency text blast as an attempt to sabotage his presidential bid. The National Telecommunications Commission now orders a probe. And later, amid controversies, how does he plan to become a unifying leader? Presidential aspirant Bongbong Marcos joins us live. Former Senator Bongbong Marcos officially files his certificate of candidacy for president on Wednesday, October 6th, but without a running mate. Marcos says the plan was actually to adopt President Rodrigo Duterte as vice president, but plans changed when the latter withdrew his bid and was replaced by Senator Bongo. Also, what exactly are his plans in order to have a so-called unifying leadership? And what concrete actions will he take to address pressing issues like the COVID-19 pandemic? Let's go straight to the source of the story. Joining us from Ilocos Norte is former Senator Bongbong Marcos. Senator, welcome to the source. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
Thank you, Pinky, and magandang umaga sa lahat ng mga nanonood.
I watched your announcement the other day, and of course, you're filing for your certificate of candidacy yesterday at Pasay City. Sabi mo dun sa inyong Q&A with the press that the plan was really to have President Rodrigo Duterte as your vice presidential running mate. Pero sabi mo nga, nagulat ho kayo dun sa events, as many, nung nangyari noong Sabado. What happened, Senator? Hindi ho ba kayo nag-usap? Because kung siyang planong vice president ninyo, hindi ho ba kayo nasabihan na hindi na siya tatakbo?
Wala namang siguro nakakaalam lang siguro nun na gagawin nila yun sa Sabado na Saturday. Sila lang because I am not privy to the discussions sa loob ng PDP. So siguro doon nila plinano at doon nila pinag-agpihan. Hindi naman namin alam. Nagulat na ako nung malitaan ko lang na nag-withdraw si Pangulong Duterte at ipinalit bilang kandidato sa Senator Bongo. So we have to basically rethink our initial strategy in adopting the president as our vice president. We are presently now in discussions trying to come to a good decision as to what we should now do to adjust to this new we have very little time left, although there is a substitution period. So maybe we'll take them back. It was maliwanag at maging mas clarified ang sitwasyon hindi lamang sa national.
Senator, I hope you don't mind, no? You're coming in and out. Hindi ko po halos naintindihan a big portion of what you said. I'm wondering if sa team po namin, maganda ba ang pasok ni Senator? Okay, so let's take a very short break first. I hope you don't mind because I'd like to understand everything you are telling me. So let's take a short break. Let's fix that. We'll be right back. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our guest today, former Senator Bongo Marcos. Senator, okay, I think we have a better communication right now. You were saying about President Rodrigo Duterte supposedly being your vice president. What happened there?
Well, naturally, we were all surprised when on Saturday we heard the news that si Pangulong Duterte ay umatras bilang kandidato ng Vice Presidente at ipinalit ay si Senator Bongo ng PDP laban. The original plan, as I said before, was that we were going to adopt the president as the vice presidential candidate. Of my vice presidential candidate. But with the changes, we have to consult once again. We become very, very busy with the issuance of CONAs and helping with our allies with the COCs, etc. But we will now have to go back and decide, because we have 1 day left after today. We merely have today and tomorrow to decide what the party should do in terms of a vice presidential candidate. So I think hindi lang naman kami yung nagulat nung yung mga nangyari nung Sabado. Palagay ko halos lahat ng mga political observer medyo nagulat na ganun na naging pangyayari.
But I guess what I want to find out, sir, is that if you were planning to adopt him, you could have at least been told, hindi ho ba? Granted na sabihin yung political observers nagulat, true, what happened last Saturday, but you having this plan together with President Rodrigo Duterte, you were not even made aware of that, because that alters your plans one way or another.
Well, it does. Well, no, they were the PDP. I mean, I had spoken to Secretary Alcusi, I had spoken to ES Bingbong Medjaldea, I had spoken to Senator Bongo, and I had told them that this is what I had planned to do. I think that I am not the only one who didn't get informed. Parang it was a very, very very quick, I think, and it was a very late decision made. And hindi na nila ininformahan ang mga iba nilang kasama at basta't ginawa na lang nila. So again, but it is what it is. So we will adjust to it.
Were you offended by that?
No, not at all. They need to do what it is they feel is best for them. I will continue to do what I think is best for me. And seeing as these are the two groups, we are the two groups left in the administration side. In the end, clearly, we will be coming together and helping each other out.
In the end, you will be coming together and helping each other out. Does it mean that, sabi nyo nga, bong, 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 yung pong ibig sabihin ng Bongbong Marcos at Bongo, yun ang ba?
Depende nga sa usapan namin ng partido ko anong dapat gawin. The options are to wait in case the president changes his mind and bumalik siya mag-vice president, to adopt Senator Bongo, or to just continue as we are. That is what we would have to decide. It's I've been saying this for the last several weeks. It is an unusual election. It is an unusual campaign, and we've never really had to deal with circumstances, the political circumstances like this before, wherein every single day, up to and including the days for filing, may development araw-araw, more than one, more than two developments every day, and that's why things are still volatile. They are still in flux hanggang ngayon. Na penultimate day na, second to the last day na ng filing. So we really have to be fast on our feet and come to some quick decisions. But we have to make sure that this takes into account all of the other events that are going on and that we are anticipating, and to also be planning that maybe what we anticipate is not what's going to happen. So we have to plan for that as well.
So, to be clear, your options are who for Vice President? Bongo. Sino pa ho?
Marami. It doesn't have to be necessarily Senator Bongo. We might, from our own ranks, marami naman sigurong mga qualified dyan na pwede nating ilagay na bilang Vice Presidente. So again, the idea as to what to do about the vice presidential position, and should we choose to nominate or to have a member file for vice president, who that person will be. Those are the decisions that we have to come up with in the next, actually, not 2 days, in the next day or so.
But what about Mayor Sara Duterte? Is she an option for vice president?
She's always an option, but she has made it very, very clear that she doesn't intend to run for a national position. All the best information that I can get seems to be that Mayor Inday has really decided to step away from national politics and to run for mayor. She may still change her mind. Again, we have till November 15, and that's why we have to be very careful in taking these steps and to make sure that whatever we do, it can accommodate the changes that we may not be expecting in the next month and a half until November 15.
But if you were given a choice, who would you want as your vice president?
Well, it depends who I was choosing from whom I was choosing from. What are the groups of people that I was choosing from? You know, there are people who would make a good vice president, who could win as vice president, but do not want to run for vice president. So that limits the field. You have to remember that until Saturday, nobody wanted to run for vice president for the simple reason that they would come up against the president, against President Duterte. Kaya't lahat sinasabi, ba't pa ako tatakbo? Lalabanan ko si Pangulong Duterte. Ang ganda-ganda ng mga numero niya. Wala akong pag-asang manalo. So nobody was really thinking about vice president. Everybody was saying, well, di mag-senador na ako, tatakbo presidente, whatever it is, pero hindi vice president. Kasi walang gustong tumapat kay PRRD. Natural naman. So that's why talagang I think I can properly use the word nakiwarik talaga lahat ng ating pag-iisip nung umatras si Pangulong Duterte at ipinalit si Senator Bongo bilang vice presidente ng PDP.
Yun pong siguro, maybe to end this topic, Senator, how important is it for you to have some sort of alliance or have a vice presidential bet who is an administration ally?
Well, despite what positions we are running for, I think it's very clear to, again, most political observers who are on the opposition side, who are opposed to the government, and who are on the administration side of the political aisle. And kami na lang talagang natira dito sa administration side. In fact, I think all presidential candidates now have identified themselves with the opposition. So that alliance is as you say, your question was, is it important that we ally ourselves? We are allied already by circumstances and by past history as well. We have always considered ourselves, myself, Duterte supporters, and so that alliance has been there since the beginning of this administration and even before that. So yeah, that is an ongoing thing that we will have to strengthen and work on, because as we all know, especially in politics, these alliances are supremely important. So the question now is not, we have formed those alliances, how to strengthen them and how to use them to maximum effect during the campaign and then subsequently the election.
Senator Marcos, we need to take a very short break. The Source will be right back. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our guest today, former Senator Bongbong Marcos. Also a controversy. Right after you filed your certificate of candidacy was this emergency text alert. I heard already your lawyer, si Attorney Vic, saying that ito nga ay posibleng makalaban nyo pa. But of course, on the other side is saying ginagamit ninyo or ito po ay galing po sa inyong kampo or supporters, this particular text alert, which basically says buong malasakit sa bansa, bagong bukas na masagana, BBM for 2022. What is the story behind this, sir? What do you know about it?
I have no idea. On the way from Sofitel to lunch afterwards, around 11:30, something like that. I suddenly got this thing. We all get that, the NDRMC alert that there's a Lindol o may bagyo. And so I looked at it, ang gulat ko. Yung message was not about an impending crisis or impending disaster, but what it was this message about me. And sabi ko, bakit? I immediately asked, I hope we have nothing to do with this, because tanong mo nga sa mga kasamahan natin, ginawa ba nila ito? Dahil hindi tama ito, hindi nyo dapat ginagawa yan. And so everybody that we asked who has anything to do with the IT or with admin in the different that have been helping us on social media, wala silang alam diyan. And besides, they said, why would we do that? Makakasira lang sa atin yan. Bakit natin gagawin yun? And so that's why I'm waiting, and I'm watching and waiting with what the results will be from the NTC. I've asked my IT team, how can this be done? Apparently, it's not very hard to do. Anybody can do it.
Sa kalusugan at pabahay, aasenso tayo. Sa edukasyon, aasenso tayo. Sa pangkabuhayan at trabaho, aasenso tayo. Sa proteksyon ng karapatang pangtao, aasenso tayo. AASENSO Partylist, inyong kaagapay. Sama-sama, sabay-sabay, walang iwanan. AASENSO ang sambayanan, AASENSO ang buong bayan.